fantastic. So we're now recording on the computer. Fantastic.
Yes, so hello to everyone. We are here today for a North America meeting, Gpms.world, and we have like a round table where practically there is no host. We are all co-hosts because the table is round. So everybody can start, and please just start. Thank you.
Yeah, well, it's good to be here amongst beautiful souls. I'm excited to be in this beautiful presence. So reference to because I noticed that on the actual the Telegram messages that I was looking at relatively like in the last 24 hours or so, regarding to reference to Marcel, do you know what's happening in terms of the linkage between his presence with GPMS? Because I kind of sensed an element of frustration, but has it been cleared up now at all? Was he around at the earlier meeting, or do you have it? Does anyone have a sense of...
My principal point of view, because I had some interaction with him, it's practically his time is based on money. Our time is based on volunteer time. And for example, he was coming with his vision to implement an administration. And practically what it is GPMS at this time was not exactly surprised by him, on my opinion, because GPMS has already an administration that is happening organic. So it's just to put like on in a little bit on a structure, but practically nobody here can come from outside or inside and say, I will hire Barrett. I cannot hire you because you are already part of everything that we are doing. You are involved in to develop GPMS, and all the people, they are above the institution, they are above the administration. So practically they are part of the administration. Right now, where it is your place in this administration, it's everywhere where you want to be. And this is like a process, you know. You can be today in a field, tomorrow in another, or in two, or so it's by heart, by choosing, by everything. And right now, we had also a little bit, so he exposed also his expertise, and the people started to say, practically, we are all experts. And practically he said, no, I will hire only those practically that they are chosen. But, you know, we cannot limit ourselves to only one. So it's like all the brain that is right now inside of GPMS cannot be limited to only one that will decide for us who is chosen or not. And practically the, how can I say, it's the organigram or whatever, it's probably what they suggested or they wanted to implement is like, for example, a council will have 11 people that they will make the decision. And the opinion practically does not really count because there are few that will take the decision. This is not autonomy system. The people are the final decision makers. The opinion counts a lot, and especially when the opinion are coming from our contributors. So it's a little bit, I find more like a vision of the actual system, even that he has a lot of expertise in natural law and everything. The natural law at this time seems to be more adapted to this pyramid system, where this pyramid system had a lot of influence, and practically it's not the pure universal natural law. The pure universal natural law and how this will be the vision that the people will have on the fifth dimension. This is something very different, because on the fifth dimension, the people having access only to the new technology The lifespan will be minimum some hundreds of years. And in some hundreds of years, you'll have a lot of experience, expertise, and everything, because in many fields and everything, because the education that is coming will come free with GPMS. So practically, the vision was not exactly the GPMS vision. And practically, we started a little bit to gather organic, and he said, okay, I'm not here to spend my time. My time means money, and so this is all about. And we do understand that. At this time, on this third dimension, the time means money. So this is all about. But we are here practically to create the money. So this is a very different vision. It's a very different approach. And practically GPMS is growing every day. A couple of hundred people choose GPMS every day. And GPMS is not about the followers. It's about consent. It's very different. It's coming in an agreement together. So it's extremely different. And the people are choosing that, but practically nobody was coming to say how this may happen. Because practically I want to organize something that it's already happening. It's already working, you know? So it was like a little bit an imposed structure. And from the other side, from the perspective of a political party, direct democracy, my personal experience in Romania, I was working with Petrica Picui, and I influenced a lot of Petrica Picui also project. I was working with him since December 2020. And practically this project started, this project started from autonomy system like direct democracy. And I know the mind of the direct democracy, where it's coming from, and the limit. And I understand that. And I was looking a little bit on what he proposed on 168 pages that he shared with us. And I found this limitation of the perspective of only direct democracy. And we are more, GPMS, it's above. GPMS knows that democracy is a lie. So practically, GPMS knows the difference between the direct democracy in a pyramid form, that practically it's between autonomy and the pyramid, and GPMS, it's exactly on 100% autonomy system. So it's a different approach. Than the people started to say nothing less than GPMS, and I understood it also. And the expertise, it's also based on the third dimension expertise and everything. Or so we like, if somebody like trust law, private trust law, develop something. This is just amazing, because we need that for sure in our environment. But practically, the people want GPMS here. They do not want trust law. They do not want to be involved in, how can I say, partnership. So practically, it was a sort of business partnership that it was proposed, and trust law. But GPMS is not doing that. So first of all, when you come as an expert in a place, you can be the best expert in the world. You need to understand the place, what is happening there. Then you will apply your expertise too. And I would like to share a little bit that this administration, setting administration, it's also inside of me. I have expertise on this area. I have background. I have also degree. I have title into continents. So it's not a problem to, how can I say, to write 100 pages how an administration can be working. We are not there. This is not our problem. But I understood that GPMS administration, it's silent practically. It's like not saying, I have this title, I have this position, because the people here, their consciousness, it's above any kind of position inside of an administration, just to say, I have a business card, and I am Beatrice, and I'm part of the Gpms.world administration that is the only one that is growing every day with 1,000 or with people, and practically we had in the last month more than 5,000 only. So imagine, who am I? Okay, sit down, because this is a collective work. And this collective work needs to be understood. This collective work needs to be bring forward. Then they gather and they develop their administration. So it's not about me, it's not about one that can hire us. It's about that we created GPMS, and we, as all the collective that we created, we are above the administration, and practically we are inside of the administration. We are already there. Just we are not probably known enough or something like that, but this is coming, and this is organically growing. And much more than that, GPMS is not based on the 70,000 people that are now. GPMS is based also on other people that will come. And the number that GPMS expects, it's about a billion of people. So when you cannot say, I will set an administration where I will have a council of 11 people, that they will be the decision makers. Because the others that they are coming and also inside of the ascension, they can, in one day, you know, it's the awakening processes. In one day, they can see much better maybe than all those that 11 inside of council. So you never know. So we are here to save the world. We are not here to preserve at this time position and names. So the organic growing and what exactly express and represent GPMS should be first understood before to start to say, I will make public interview with you, Beatrice, and I will ask you exactly what you did in the last years. What I did in the last years is just amazing, because I was exactly there where the human race needs to be. I was on the freedom movement, and I'm trying to grow GPMS as much as I can. So it's much more than that. It's not based on my expertise that I have on this third dimension. Okay, do you need my degree on this third dimension? I can bring you, but this means by the end, nothing. With no my spirit of freedom, for GPMS, my background on the third dimension equal 0. So we need to understand that the freedom is the most important, and practically GPMS is exactly there to give the rights and this freedom. It is an instrument, it's freedom instrument. So practically when somebody come and propose to GPMS to help with the administration, it's very welcome. And I have really something else to do, so somebody else can develop that. This is not a problem at all, but needs to respect the people. Needs to respect the people choice, the people that created Gpms.world. And from there, with respect and benevolent, because we volunteer hours and everything. So practically we gather together and we create, okay, having directive and everything, and to see how we practically we create. So this is the reason that you saw the show there, and practically probably it was better do not enter to make comments, but I saw disrespect versus us, that practically we are here on the front line. And I saw also the people that started to, even that we receive more, so practically the number of the contributors increase. At the time when the people saw friction and everything, the number, so we lost 2 of them, one and after that another one. And I said, okay, I am not here to lose the contributors that I bring in, and because this is my environment, and by the end this touched my name. So this was the reason that I intervened, and I said needs to be a stop. So this discussion needs to be somewhere, maybe in private or coming in a meeting like that open or something like, but needs to be discussed in another way. And first of all, the people needs to understand exactly what GPMS means. So this is the reason from my perspective. I do not know other people, but practically he saw no action. He expressed that he saw no action inside of GPMS. Inside of GPMS, there is a lot of action. And I will also, I will make the statement. So for example, my work in the last almost 2 years, for example, in Romania, I was involved also, Rick, with FEMCE. They are there in Romania for months and their work on the ascension and everything. Oh my God, it's, I never imagined that this can exist. So it's like, you know, by the end we are, GPMS exists because the ascension exists. But the people are not able to understand that. How can you bring someone to hire Rick Jewers or FEMCE inside of an administration? They are already there. So it's like, or make a public, we'll make a public statement right now. Who is Rick? Rick is speaking every day. Everybody can go inside of the Facebook. So all the data is there. You do not need much more than that. So it's just proven by years and everything. And for example, in Romania, how GPMS, because they said here GPMS, so they cannot see GPMS. Okay, it's true, because GPMS is not on media. This is the reason. But how GPMS, for example, influenced Romania until this point? So we started practically what I was doing in Romania, because what Rick is doing, it's above any wording. So there is no description, it's everything. So with no ascension, we have no life. We know that. But practically what I was doing as a small human being, you know, I was able to go with GPMS on live on their alternative media. And I started to speak. Then there, a political party, a member from a political party said, Beatrice, when you are speaking about open borders, so you touch the actual constitution, then under the actual constitution and everything, you can make a jail time as up to 20 years. So anyway, the conversation moved forward in another meeting, doesn't matter what he said. Then GPMS started to enter. Then practically after that, I saw also how the project of Romania in self-governance started to move towards GPMS as thinking, because Petrica Picui started to enter in GPMS, but he's speaking on Italian and Romanian, he's not speaking English, then he has a barrier. So this started to influence the big project for Romania on self-governance too. After that, we had somebody that it is right now like senator, or she's in the Senate of Romania, and she wants to be the next president of Romania. Then I saw one day in a comments of Petrica Picui Facebook, he said, why she's improving right now the SOS political party agenda with everything that I'm keeping for Romania for years. Then I was looking a little bit on this political party, and I saw that everything was changed. So practically after GPMS started to enter via the alternative media in Romania, political parties started to change their what they are doing and what they are saying. And the influence was coming directly to the Senate, to Romania. Much more than that, the video that where I spoke about GPMS in Romanian language were seen by freedom fighters, and they were also seen by university teacher. Then practically, right now we have a university teacher that share what on her perspective it is autonomy system. So she right now, she share public. Much more than that, this information enter directly to a military group. This military group, this is linked worldwide with Interpol too. The one that practically appeared on the video where I shared the information about GPMS, he's part of this military group to the top of the group. And practically 2 days later, they just made a public announcement where they said that they bring forward a military state for the moment, where practically the military tried to take the power, where they make public announcement and share that they analyze and everything that the actual government is doing, 90% of the population is against, and practically they declare like a fraud inside of the government. And right now they want to take over, and they make like a public announcement that they need to gather and the population needs to gather. And practically when I was looking to Adrian Facebook and everything, I saw that he right now, he shared autonomy system. And when I was listening on his video, he started to say it's about 2 or 3 million Romanian people. So Romania, it's a country that is not a country, but just for the people that they are saying that Romania is a country. Romania is a country or around, we can say 20 million of people. So it's about the 10 to 15% of the population that it is interconnected, upholding the actual system. And Adrian, he said, there is no other way than autonomy system. Right now, I told him again, Adrian, it's not only about an autonomy system, because the autonomy cannot practically be implemented without, so you can start, but you will see the difference in time without universal natural law. And this has to be worldwide and everything. So he understood everything. And he appeared, so we have video, it's just a translation in English that can pass and everybody can see. So this video were developed in time and everything that he's saying. So he was the one that he understood the difference that practically inside of the actual supposed constitution that is practically fabricated by the Freemason. It's individual sovereignty is forbidden in Romania. It's exactly inside Article 2, I believe, from the Constitution of Romania, where you have no right to practically to say that you are individual sovereign. So practically the artificial law, the civil law, the artificial law in Romania does not recognize the universal natural law. Much more than that, it's coming and it's saying you have no the right to do that. And Adrian was one, like 1.5 years ago, coming inside of a meeting with me, public video, where he started to tell to the people the reality about the constitution. And I was speaking about Gpms.world, and I said, this is happening worldwide. And practically, this is the fraud. And this is the problem that also Rick George all the time described, where the government in the world are united and practically they are against the people and everything that is happening. So Gpms.world influenced Romania to the point that right now, the military is also in the position to gather worldwide or in many areas. And right now, this is also recognized from the United States, from the freedom fighters groups and everything, from the liberty groups. They have already a sort of militia, lawful militia and military. The people that they are still working for the government of the United States, or they are ex-military, or does not matter how, so they gather. And right now, practically they unite with the people to bring something else. And I am fully aware that this something else, it's practically something where for sure the birth certificate is not recognized. So practically this fiction will be not recognized anymore. So this is something that they will destroy. And right now, practically, they unite worldwide on that. And they are saying when it's exactly on the 4 minutes video for Romania, they are saying right now, when the time is coming, and I will tell you, and I will tell you also the location for the population to come with us. So much more than that, how can I see for somebody that can say, there is no action inside of Gpms.world? Oh my God. The action inside of the Gpms.world is to the point to save the human race and the planet. It's so big what is happening. And I was not able to speak like that until 2 days ago, when the last communicate was coming officially in place. So everything is there, everything is recorded. I'm speaking from facts. And the people never know before about, many people, they never know before about universal natural law. And practically the connection with autonomy system and universal natural law was not there. And they were not able to understand that they need to come in an agreement worldwide because of the land and the issue of the land and everything. So this was explained to them on public video. So everything is recorded, and I have that, and everybody has that in Romania. So it's GPMS is not here only for the inspiration. It's practically put in action by others already. They are on that direction. Yes, Rick.
Thank you, Beatrice. Yeah, what I wish to add to what Beatrice was saying, she has identified the influence of GPMS upon the Romanian people that are ready for the change. But what I wish to add, it's also in Thailand. They had an election or two this year. And with Thailand as well, they've seen within, let's say, the ones running for politics, how they changed their platform to be more in alignment towards GPMS. And if we take the recent Argentina election, you will see whatever his name is, doing unprecedented things, even though it may be not in alignment fully with what GPMS is. It's unprecedented, and it's different things that are being put out there, but it's part of the evolution towards GPMS. So, and as Beatrice is saying, behind, if we took all of us present guardians and did a briefing of all of the intel and information that we actually have, we'd be days and days sharing it all, as anyone can see. But the thing is that it's very, very real, and it's perhaps most every country in the world. The people are becoming organized and standing up. This is the greatest civil unrest the world has ever known. And of course, a lot of it is kept, or the most of it is kept from the mainstream media. But even though they have, let's say, censored it, it doesn't matter. It's still happening, and it's getting bigger, and it's going quickly towards GPMS because there is no other choice. The only thing that empowers the people, is like what Beatrice is saying, is the full autonomy system. And when we look at the importance of ones that have been doing their individual sovereignty, in those groups and even those teachers, they have been preparing for this time where the unity occurs. So through the course, let's say more notably the last 10 years, while they were separating their self from the system, they were doing this to be prepared to unite as a stronger force, and then with autonomy and universal law, which is above the sovereignty. And it's above the sovereignty that most of the groups on the planet have been doing. And the reason why it's above the sovereignty is that they are recognizing the governments and the existing evil, if you will, as an authority. And with GPMS, no, there is no other authority. We don't need to ask permission from anyone. We are the people. We are the authority. So it's with it's the process. So once into sovereignty began to separate from the system, but now it's time for all these sovereign groups to converge. And we do have several little sovereign groups or communities that are connected, but ideally all of these sovereign communities, because at least they're equipped with a basic knowledge of natural law. It's where they all need to come together, and we give them the next step of universal divine law, the full absolute law. And this brings everything all together. But I just wanted to share a bit of that. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, because my understanding from Marcel, I mean, it depends, because if you're in the survival mode mentality, that presumably there's maybe a large percentage of people on the planet and their operating system is still from scarcity rather than abundance, then they are looking at alternative means on this interim period of what he was trying to explain in not so many words until the transition takes place, because people are still needing some degree of financial aid and support. And this was exemplified reference to what's happening in Uganda, as we know. Brother Wanderer there, I mean, he's constantly bombarding, and I'm not saying rightly or wrongly, but in a position where he could do with the finances to help aid the children that are suffering. And it's not just Uganda, it's the poverty is a very high percentage of the planet. So I don't think he was trying to put a bandage on it, but he's saying, until we get to that point where the consciousness of the planet is in an alignment, which I think, Rick, you kind of mentioned that reference to a critical point where a certain amount of numbers, you don't need 7 billion people on the planet to agree. You just need a handful of individuals who are walking this do no harm and do not impose on the freedoms, and really putting it out there. But yeah, no, I'm sad that I don't know. Has he fully has he acknowledged the fact his participation is now completely over? Because sometimes, people's temperament, when they come into certain situations, there could be a lot of clearing going on as well, because sometimes people misinterpret things. Because I think, Tracy, you kind of, when you were looking at the website, I mean, you then came back and you felt different vibration, I think, didn't you? And you were quite excited
I felt a
about
different vibration when I watched the video, contributors video that had Marcel and Nick.
Yeah.
And I really felt that those two people were game changers, because they could bring another element that could provide us a structure, because the universe is created off of structure. Everything grows in structure. And so I understand it's foundational to have the internet connection without it being tampered with and having any molestation of it is important. And I thought that that would be a really big stepping stone for GPMS to get the word out without being hindered or without necessarily having to use one platform for secure, you know, to stay secure. So I thought that was fantastic. I also like that Nick wanted to create a list for us to easily be able to connect with other people. And Beatrice, thank you for your help. I really, really appreciate it. I believe you sent me the links yesterday. I haven't had time to get in this morning and look at it. Marcel, I really liked because I looked at him as a bridge for right now to be able to actually, right now, our current system's a monetary system. So right now that's the system we're in. And there's so many people that are going without. Just in the town that I'm in, it's $8 for a gallon of milk. Minimum wage is $16. So somebody's going to have to work 30 minutes, more than that, because then you get the taxes taken out and then you, right? And so you'd have to work more than an hour or more than a half an hour out of your day just to provide a gallon of milk to your family. And that's just here in this little area in Northern California that I'm at. And if I want to go and get it cheaper, I actually have to drive like 60 to 80 miles. So then you have the gas and the expense. So things like that, because we've really been pushed past the tipping point. And I've been saying that for this past year. It's like we've reached our tipping point. People can't take too much more. And everybody I hear on around me and that I talk to, and I talk to a lot of people, they're barely surviving. And so I thought that Marcel could bring in that bridge, but we could have done it in a way that it was on the backside, because not everybody needs to know the complexities, nor do I even care to, because I know that we're going into this higher energy. But it would have been a nice bridge to bring us in the financial structure to, and it's not even the financial structure. GPMS has a great, is great. Everybody agrees that I've talked to with that vibrational frequency of do no harm, abundance for all. Why couldn't we utilize that, like with marketing and stuff, to bring in money that could actually start making it so that we could spread the word and help the people that need the help the most now. So I loved Marcel, I love Nick, and I love Daniel too, and what Daniel's doing. And I'm really thinking maybe that what Daniel was talking about with this app might change everything. So he sent me a peek of it yesterday, but I'm hoping that it eliminates a lot of, or not eliminates, I hope that it puts in some structure so that we could easily navigate. I just wanted some logos. That's it, you know, and I was told that somebody had already created some brochures. So I just wanted access to that, and I could not get access to that, at least very easily. And I tried, it was just a waste of time trying to ask. And I think, Beatrice, you came back last night, but I haven't checked in Telegram this morning yet. But I think you provided some stuff. But if somebody could just streamline some basics, like a media kit, right? And then if I had a media kit, I would pay for things myself, have them print it off and go out.
GPMS administration is not doing trust law. Trust law is doing Marcel.
Right. No, I'm not just talking about trust law. I'm
this is what I said. I never said Marcel is not intelligent. Marcel does not, it's not necessary to be here. I never said that. I said all the time the contrary. But what I'm saying, nothing less than GPMS, is that GPMS, it's not doing trust law. So if the people, this is personal choice. We are not coming with 70,000 people right now to put them to be on the trust law. It's not, GPMS is not here for that. GPMS, what GPMS is doing has a decree with a divine plan. GPMS is doing the divine plan. It's not doing trust law. So
I'm not talking about trust law, actually.
So when
I know
so
that that's what Marcel, part of what Marcel brings into it, but I'm not
Okay.
talking about that. I'm
So
talking about
yes, so
getting boots
Tracy,
on the
for
ground,
example,
having things tangible that I could go out, a simple business card I
okay,
could give to
so
somebody else, things like that. And there could be money made off of that
okay,
that
just
actually went to fund and promote GPMS. And it doesn't
okay,
have to be put in a trust or any of that.
okay. So for example, we will have tomorrow 10 business that they want to promote GPMS. It's just amazing. This does not mean that the administration of GPMS is doing the 10 business. This is what I said and nothing else. And this is just simple like that. And also GPMS structure. I never said that GPMS does not need a structure. I am saying that this is organically growing. And for example, you propose something, but you cannot come over the people that they already bring forward GPMS where it is. You cannot come forward, tell them, right now I will come in a public interview with you because I'm hiring you. This is not possible because the administration cannot hire people. The people are above. The people are coming inside of the administration. Then there we will see. And the expertise that it's speaking about the expertise that we have today, but the administration of GPMS is coming to the point that the expertise will grow, more you'll be involved. So practically having the place for everybody. And you cannot come with a fixed administration where you are seeing part of this, how can I say right now, I will bring forward 10 people for this council or 11 people for this council, and only them, they will be there for a while. It's not possible on that. Because GPMS is not based on 70,000 people that are right now and will be no one that will come. GPMS is based on something that is growing. So practically this will expand, we do not know. So this is an approach to be, it's like a round table where the people that practically are involved in GPMS will start to speak about. It's not one individual taking action over others. So
I agree with that.
is one, but
I agree with
doing
that.
over others, and after that coming and saying, this is my personal time, you need to pay me for that. I respect that because I do understand everything that you said. And I understand that he is coming with good intention, but GPMS is doing something else, not trust law.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about trust law. I was actually talking about being able to have access to information so that I could bring my gifts forward in my area to get more people on board with GPMS. And I couldn't easily find it. I don't know why it's difficult, why there isn't a folder, or somebody can't tell me where a folder's at where I could click on it. I could get all the information. Is there, Rick? I don't know. I haven't had any luck.
I could simplify a few things here very quickly. What's been occurring, Tracy? We just come to a new website just a few months ago. And as a result, we had our media resources on the other website where you could access it.
Yeah.
And we're still in the process of getting it onto the new website where it's in a place that's readily, easily accessible. Somewheres now it is transient. I can't speak right to where it is now. Lee would be better with it. However, in the Telegram contributors group, we have at the top the access where you go in there and you can find a lot of the media, but not all of it as well. So we're in this process of getting the new website more structured. So it would make it difficult, yes.
Yeah, because we shouldn't have to spend time trying to find the things that trying to find the tools that will help us individually share GPMS with other people.
Yeah, and the best course for anyone watching this to do that is in the contributors group. Ask the question, where do I find
I
it?
did. I did
You-
multiple. Yeah, I did multiple times yesterday.
Oh, well,
I did.
okay. Perhaps try it again after things have calmed down. It was kind of a kerfluffle, and yeah, and I
Yeah.
suggest that. Yeah, so we do have the flyers, the business
Yeah,
cards.
because I don't need to reinvent the wheel on it. I just need, where do I get access? I would pay for it out of my own pocket,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Because I joined GPMS for a reason, right? And I'm on board with it. But I don't want to have to spend my time having to search and if
Exactly.
that's the case, I'll help out. I'll do what I can to help, get it on the website or whatever to organize it.
Yes. So yes, this ease of access, it's
Yes.
coming. We're just in that transitioning between the two sites. So this will
Okay.
be up. Ideally with any promotional and marketing, if you will, with GPMS does not directly compromise the integrity of it by funding for that directly.
Right.
However, having said this, each GPMS member can do what they wish, as you're saying, and they can do a marketing campaign, but GPMS itself will not be doing it. But
Right.
any PMS member, everyone is equal and free to do what they want, but we just don't engage in any business or commercialization with the mainframe of GPMS, because this is not what it's about. It would be totally contradictory to be involved in commerce, business, or any of that.
Right.
So we make this very clear. However, with good will intent, as long as someone is not profiting off of, because you also wish to keep the integrity of GPMS clean, that you're not trying to make money off of it. Because
it would make the money itself, is what I'm trying to say. There's already people out there that want to do what they can by spreading the word of GPMS. So they would be willing and want to buy like a coffee cup or a bumper sticker, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because it's their way of sharing. You could do it for cost, or you could have I'm not talking about GPS setting up a site, but like I could go online to Vistaprint and make an order. I'm not a printer. They would do it, but the money would come naturally. The money would come naturally, is what I'm saying. And then if the money did come naturally and there's no profit, it would just be utilized to help create more.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Full proceeds put back in to keep expansion. And that's beautiful and perfect idea with that. And this was one of the things ideally, that Marcel was knew how to do as well, to bring, but we had to keep it, we wish to keep it pure. We don't wish to make profit. We're not about that. See, if we could, what I wish to say, if I was part of the old world, profiting and marketing, business administration, I could be the CEO of the most what's the word? The biggest company in the world. This is part of my skill set. Yet here I am here because the world we're creating doesn't contain any of that old, and it doesn't get contaminated with this. But nevertheless, we don't. And the biggest thing with this, if we begin to make businesses or profits off of GPMS, ones begin to get sidetracked off of the main goal, then they become complacent and comfortable. And with this, what this does, then it prolongs the full freedom for everyone.
Right.
So we cannot be an accomplice nor a partisan to anything greatly that would ones would you know, more just make a profit and benefit off of and to sustain theirself. This
Right.
GPMS is about the whole planet, not the individuals or a small group. But having said this, we also recognize, very importantly, that this very distinct suppressive period upon everyone where everyone's in so much lack. But here we are, if you look at the world, 85% of the world is in lack. How in the world is GPMS going to fix that for everyone? And believe me, I know from Uganda and other places, I get messages coming in from orphanages that need donations.
Mhm.
And my response is, which is truthfully, I'll give them to someone if there's someone there that can assist them.
Mhm.
But for in the past, it's time consuming and I cannot do it. And on my social platforms, the moment that I would put out one, all of my messages become bombarded with
Mhm.
others, and
Yeah.
rightfully so. If I'm to go and fundraise for one, it's not right to not fundraise for all of the others. So what I
Mhm.
say, no, none, but I will do my best to direct you somewheres for that assistance. But the real truth is, no, we cannot accommodate all of them. And if we were to turn in to some sort of a charity donation, thing, we'd never get the full goal done. So
Mhm.
there has to be the discipline and responsibility with what we're here to do. But also, we are, if you will, the main guardians, the oversight committee of GPMS to keep it going forward. And as I said before, ideally, all of the other GPMS members come in, that some of them will bring innovative ways to raise, funds in the meantime, nice time, until we get there and do this. But the mainframe cannot be focused on that. In Thailand, what was very beautiful, what we saw there, with around 14,000, it created a paradigm shift
Mhm.
and the exact numbers with the population of Thailand, I think it was 0.002%, had effected a noticeable consciousness paradigm shift. And as a result of that occurring, they began to set up a charity to assist in Thailand their people, which is ideally great. And I'd love to see it in every country because this is part of what GPMS is doing. But what I'm saying, again, I don't fully take it on to doing that. And a lot of the guardians, because our focus is at bringing the prominent influencers and leaders in here, informing them of GPMS to the utmost degree, and of course the representatives from the countries, so that they're educated more or less fully in GPMS, so they're able to speak it to the people in their respective countries. So, there is, when someone is to say there is no structure in organization, yes, it is. It's just not put out there how we are functioning, but we do have this, it is a definite network, and it is organized to the degrees that it needs to be what we do. So it's a preconceived notion for anyone to say that there is no structure.
Well, it's
So
just that it's hard to find stuff.
yeah, I know.
So
With
that kind of, we could say whatever we want, but if we can't find the material that we're seeking, then there's something missing there. But you did explain to me the transition that you're going through. And I also believe, and I know for a fact that all of our positions we're determined before we even took our first breath. And it's by when we were born, what our planetary alignments are. I'm a Virgo. I can't help but to organize, even if I don't want to organize. It's ingrained in me, and so that's one of my gifts. I'm not an Aquarian, so like technology is not my gift. And I think all of our experience throughout our entire lives has prepared us for this time. So everybody will just go right into whatever their gifts are to bring it forward. And Marcel's a Virgo, I'm a Virgo, so it's just easier for us to see. And I'm visual, so it's just easier for me to see. But I was trying to find the information. I didn't have much luck doing that, but I would like to not have to bother people either. I'd like to be able just to go online, because I'm going back home tonight. I'm heading back over to the valley, and so I would be boots on the ground tomorrow. And Chico's a wonderful place, but I want to be able to give somebody something. Here's my card if you have questions. I'm not all high tech and just digital right now. It's like I like to actually have a little bit of paper for myself anyways, until we get to that point. But for right now, I'd like to just direct people. Okay, this is where you go to find more information and how you do this, and just something that they can have in their hands and call me if they need or whatever. That's what I was looking for.
Tracy, is it you that had some prior collaboration with Lee?
No, I don't think so. Lee and I have just talked and stuff, and for the past couple of months.
All right. Oh, well, just saying Lee is the one to ask. He knows where that resource is at. So yeah, you can just ask Lee a question and very quickly he can put it to you.
Okay.
Because part of what he was doing is with the migration of it from the old site to the new, he
Okay.
has the most readable access to it.
Okay.
Just ask him and he can get you fixed up quickly with that. In the last month, I think there was 2 wanted flyers for the UK, the PDF and what have you. And I just say, just get in touch with Lee and Lee
Okay.
right away facilitates it. So that is what we're doing for now, until we get this in a place, a definite place where it's easy to access. Thank you.
Well, I think that we're moving in the next couple of months, we're going to be moving really super fast. And I think the expansion of GPMS could be huge. So just having a simple way so that I bring somebody on board, if we could just have something that's that just helps people direct, so we don't have to go and bug Lee or other people, and just like, okay, here it is. And then if people want to change it or whatever, that's on them. But I just don't like to have to bother people or reinvent the wheel. Just have it right there, simple. And then, because once I would do this and share it with somebody, because there's not very many people in the United States yet. I mean, this is a big territory. But as soon as I go to Chico State University, and I know a lot of young kids going to the university right now that can't even, they're crying and upset. They don't think they'll be able to go to school next year, even though I know the whole school structures and stuff are going to change. But you have all these young people that would get on board, and it would just spread like wildfires, is what I'm saying. And I really feel in the next couple of weeks, the next 3 weeks, that's a huge shift for us across the earth. And then leading up to March and April, that's another really, really big shift and awakening too. So I know a lot of answers will come to us without us having to search for them. But yeah, I just was trying to find things easy. And the other thing I liked about what Marcel was doing, or what his background brings, and I know it's just temporary, but when you're somebody like Dylan, who has a black eye because he's dealing with law enforcement challenging him, and I've had the police too. I've been lucky enough to not have any black eyes or anything like that. And I could usually convince them why it's a bad idea to even think about arresting me, because I've done nothing wrong. But like crossing the borders, right? And so I know it's different in Romania and stuff, but just to have something that we can say, hey, we can do this, and we have everybody behind us. That aspect I liked, because I do feel really guided to do some traveling. And right now, traveling, in order to get on a plane, I'm going to have a passport or a real ID. I just thought it would be cool if we could just incorporate something where when you do your consent, even though it says, hey, this is what you would get, but make sure that when we go to the borders and stuff, that it wouldn't be a problem. But we might not even need that in the next couple of months.
Yeah.
Exactly. Things are going so quick, and
Right.
if I
Right.
may, but ideally, this is one of the things that we've been looking at with GPMS over the last few years. With the World Passport, we had a couple meetings in the past with them to accommodate us, but for whatever reasons, things got cut off there with it. And as you're saying, ideally, that was one of when Marcel come, one of my thoughts as well is that, okay, because Marcel's got the paperwork to do it.
Right.
I mean, I could do it, get access, but he already,
Right.
has it. So it's a compliment, nice one until we get there with all of these beautiful tools, and others have them as well. I'm in Romania, for example. I can buy the whole kit for 300 euros flat, and all of this. I don't need these things, but having said this, they are available, and you have others worldwide at different prices that they were offering. But also with them, I've tried different ones in the past. Come on, stop selling and making a business off of this. This is GPMS, but they just could not comprehend and accept what GPMS is yet as well. But
I look at it as the soil. GPMS is the soil that the seeds would go into, that the trees and the branches could sprout off of. But I look at it at the vibrational frequency of returning to that heaven on earth. So it's like the soil. You're putting the beautiful soil out there for everything to prosper and grow. So that's kind of how I look at GPMS.
Yeah.
Tracy, when you are saying I was looking for something and this is missing, so something happened there. I just want to tell you that I have full skills in big companies that are growing.
Mm-hmm.
What is happening when the company is growing? It's like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the staff, it's there, because the company, this has products, but practically GPMS, if you look a little bit, is gathering people. But the people that they understand GPMS, they are here. They are not exactly like that. So in order to come like that, in order to be able to find everything, it's like, you need the time. And the time when, for example, the people that they understand that they come inside of the GPMS and they understand 100% GPMS, they come like that. Mm-hmm. What is happening with GPMS? It's coming, growing. So practically it's all the time, a big space between. So this is the reason that you will never be able to find everything that you want inside of GPMS, because GPMS expands more than practically the people will be able to keep all the organization in place. So when GPMS is coming, for example, to billion of people or something like that, there will be a lot of specialists that practically will arrange the administration. And from there you start, because practically the administration of GPMS, it's like, how can I say, is right now an intermediary. You cannot say, I will start to work tomorrow, because the administration GPMS will be backed by unlimited money. But at this period of time, until the GPMS is coming to the inception, GPMS is backed by nothing, no money practically. So the money are creating only if GPMS is coming to the inception. Or for example, GPMS is coming to the inception in one country. For example, in Canada, if the people start to gather in 1 month, then there we are taking over and we'll start to print the money and everybody will start to have money and everything. But this is the reason that you cannot find. And this is not only if I'll bring Marcel, tomorrow I'll find that, or in a very short time I will find that. Even that Marcel is coming with a lot of expertise and he will be working volunteer for everything, you will still be not able to find everything in place. It's because GPMS is expanding. Imagine thousands of people, they are not followers. They are in agreement like you and we are. They are coming inside of GPMS every single day. So this is the reason.
Right. I believe that I should be able to find whatever it is that I'm seeking with ease. And that's my guidance that I'm on the right track. If I have to search and I'm constantly like this or having to do all this extra work, sucking up my energy, when that's not even what I don't even want to reinvent the wheel. Just no, it's very simple to put a folder on there for people like myself to click.
Yes, Tracy, we are here all the time to organize. We are here all the time to organize.
I just wanted the media kit. I just wanted a media kit. That's all. and I wanted to get it ready so when I go back home tonight, I would be able to have something and I would start sharing it immediately. I would have been boots on the ground immediately. But I'm thinking now maybe I have to wait a couple weeks. I'm really excited to see what Daniel's bringing into play, because I don't need to go out there and do anything if everything's going to change or elevate right now.
Yeah,
is my thought.
And anyway, what I want to say, so Marcel is also busy with his business and everything. And practically he saw that was not in the time that he set up for GPMS for something to happen. Then practically right now he's asking money. So here it's about volunteer. So more experts will come also in place. Marcel, it's anytime welcome. So it's not disappeared probably forever. I do not know. But at this time, I'm looking to what GPMS has and what GPMS offer. And I try to bring to the people with this discussion up the information that an organization inside of GPMS exists and is happening. So this is all about. And Rick already spoke about that. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Brother Dualma, because you are waiting here, but practically just I wanted to answer to Tracy. Thank you.
May I just before Brother Marcus, Tracy, may I suggest, to send a message directly to Lee so you can get accommodated, because I recognize the importance of where you're going to get this out without hesitation. So if it resonates with you, just send a direct message to Lee and say, hey, can you just give this to me? I need it immediately, or what have you. And that should accommodate the situation for now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. You're welcome.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. How are you guys?
Great, thank you.
Tracy, I want to thank you for being here, because you bring up a lot of questions for the average person for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in the contributors group, most of your questions are answered with the paperwork that I have shared. Regarding the soil that you talk about, that's a great analogy, because I can tie that in with also what Rick said about our sovereignty and how we are sovereign. We're born sovereign. But in this current status quo on Earth, we're fighting for our sovereignty. And what are we fighting against? Or rather, what is it that is in our way? It is the spike proteins in our way. Spike proteins are the side effect of corruption. All legalities are spike proteins, and everything that branches off from legality is a spike protein. So in the paper world, that paper document is it's the connection, it's interfacing with the spike protein world. Those documents show you you're free from your blood bond. That's it.
Mhm.
That's it. All attorneys, all bar members, the crown, the parliament, it's all down. There
Right.
is no crown. There is no crown. All occult forces, hidden forces. There is no crown. It's chaos, and it's designed chaos.
Right.
I'm speaking to you coming also from the universal postal court system.
Yeah, I
And
studied it.
regarding all documents, our pensions, your pensions is your money for the fiction world.
Mhm.
GPMS is going to dissolve the market system.
Right.
Behind the Bar Association is the foundation of that market system.
Mhm.
I hold that vision. The market system is going away.
Right.
Men and women are free, and it is in their blood.
Right.
That's it. There's nothing more to argue about.
I
There's
agree with
nothing
you.
more to debate. It's in the blood.
Right.
The corporate world, the corporate world is fiction. The government world is fiction. Government means to govern lives. The police officers are equivalent to the spike proteins in our blood. So thank you for bringing up these questions. And what Beatrice is saying, we are in the cultivation state. We're in the soil. And as we connect, as we all gather the flocks, everyone. Bring me you're sick, you're hungry, you're poor, you're tired, you're weak, you're maimed. The formation is already there. The structure is already there. We must come together first and link up. That's it. The postal court system is based on facts, grounded out in the language, and the language is put onto paper.
Mhm.
So I don't care who you are or how big you think you are. When it comes to legalities, that's dead. That's fiction. That is theatrics.
But if the police came up to you today and said, "Hey, I don't like where you're parking your vehicle, and we're going to tow it off and we're going to arrest you," because that just happened to me about 2 years ago when I was homeless. That's in front of your face. That's real in your world. What would you do? That's why I liked at least what, like, part of what Marcel was doing. I don't have to know all the legalities, but I like to be able to call you or call Rick or call whoever, um, because we are united, right? But we haven't gotten to the phase yet where we don't have to deal with the situations that are coming in front of us. I know that there's a bigger plan. I've been writing and manifesting it for years, and it's right in alignment with GPMS. But I'm just saying right now, while we're going through the phase that we're in, we're building a bridge, right? And so that would be, for one of the biggest reliefs for me was financial, because whenever you have stress and fears and stuff, we're only using a small portion of our brain. You want to be able to do a major shift with 80% of the population that's in a catabolic energy and not a anabolic energy. You don't even have to do it with money. Lee brought it up, which was a great idea. You go directly to whatever corporation like here it's Pacific Gas and Electric, who will turn off your power if you do not pay them. And if people don't have money to cook and have lights in their homes, that's a big deal. But the second, if we could alleviate that, and it's like everybody's PG power is free, that will allow them to start using their frontal cortex instead of using the reptilian brain that is fight or flight. It's a totally different operating system when you're in fear. And it's been like 86% for many, many years, for the last 10 years at least, that's been catabolic. And so we're trying to get up to that anabolic where we don't have all these fears and stuff. And it could happen. So, and I already know it will happen really quickly. That's why I'm saying I almost feel like I need to hold off just a little bit as everything comes into play.
Tracy, but practically you said if something happened, I would like to call Marcel, but Marcel is
Well,
there.
no, I said Rick
So
or any
Marcel
of you.
can be called. This is not a problem, but he's asking money. So
Well, now
you need
he's
to be
asking
ready
money,
to
but he
pay.
wasn't
This is all
asking
about.
money. He wasn't asking money before. He wasn't asking
May I-
for money before. He was willing to be on the committees and all that. But then whatever happened on Telegram or whatever, then he was like, forget it. You could pay me for my time because I'm having to spend all this time trying to justify what I'm trying to do. That's how I
Tracy,
took it.
Yeah, but
May I-
how someone can come and practically hire the people that are already inside of the administration? It's not possible. This is
But-
what I try to say. So, and
But it's his
practically
gift too.
the
It's
people
his
that they
gift.
are inside of the administration, they have already a sort of organization that they are working on. So practically this first has to, the people needs to gather organically, and this has to be known. So you need to
Right.
spend the time on that to understand, and after that to start to propose something, or if you want to propose, but also the other people needs to propose, because this is a collective work, not a work of one. So I'm so sorry if it was a misunderstanding there, but this
Yeah,
is
because he sees the bigger picture. Well, I think he sees the bigger picture too and doesn't want to keep the system the same as it is. Because what are we doing? We're returning to do no harm. We're returning to natural law, not all the laws and the systems that we've been in for all this time that have caused a lot of harm to a
May
lot
I
of.
chime in?
But it's his, I mean, that's the area that he's in, and it's just a bridge. It's not, and he said that, but he has the knowledge on how to deal with legally, because if you do certain things legally, it would shut down all the systems immediately, because the second you pull out from the current system on paper, it automatically pulls out all your connections and all the funding and stuff that you are like being traded on the stock market. We are the commodity, each
Tracy.
of us. Anyways, yes.
I would.
Thank you, sisters. If I may, from the echo and the feedback, I when it comes to vibrations, it helps if we're not speaking, if we can keep our mics off. Because it feeds back and it causes us to become less temperament or have more temperament in us, and we resist each other, and we're trying to get points across that realistically, in reality, all of those points have already been made and solved. The only reason they're not solved in certain individual minds is because they haven't seen it yet. That's it. But in truth, 98% of your questions I just answered for you on paper in the contributors link. I've had crickets in response to them, and I've been sharing them for the past few days. I believe that because of my sharing what I know to be true, it has energetically triggered tension within the line of work that Marcel is doing, because he is in the war of legalities. All of what he does is in legalities. He is a profound individual and he can help GPMS. But take notice, everything he is doing is in the world of legalities. That is all the dead world. And my paperwork that I just presented squashes all of that. Man and women are not here to work for money. We're born free. It is self-evident. You want papers? There you go. It's in the contributors link. Your passport, it don't matter. All that is required is that you do a little self-education and overstand what's on the document. But it's pretty simple and it takes us right to the DNA. We don't need to debate around the water cooler indefinitely about all the minutiae. That's what the Bar Association wants us to do. And it is made up of occult hidden forces. And those forces are energetically affecting us if we let them. Man is born free already. All we have to do is unite. When it comes to your questions about the police, I know I'm living homeless because I had everything taken from me. My home, my wife, my children, by my own family, through the courts, with powerful individuals behind it, through the church. The church is directly behind the abduction of my children. The Mormon Mafia. I can go on and on and on for days. Everything that Marcel does is in the legal world. However, it is necessary to bridge that gap, and he can help. He can help.
He's in
He
the
can help
legal world, but the legal world that he is in is to bring forward sovereignty,
I already know that.
right? And so I just think that, and I don't think that everybody has to understand everything either. I just like a way to streamline it so that all this shit's taken care of so that we don't have to deal with it and we can actually be a part of the actual this other energy coming in. But it'd be nice to not have to worry about certain things.
In that one paper document I shared in the contributors link, one document that's streamlined, share it.
Okay, because I've been wanting to do some traveling. So
Learn to understand its meanings, everything that is on that paper document, and share it. So you can share it, learn to understand it.
I understand it actually, but I'm not here to speak for myself. I'm here to speak for the 86% of the people or whatever that are in the catabolic energy or the people that don't have a voice yet. So I do, I'm well educated on what you're talking about, what Marcel's talking about. I mean, I really am.
Take notice that on that document, it highlights the blood, the gene variants, the chromosome pairs, the allele.
Right.
That is God in you.
Right.
That's just one aspect of it. But the point is, the blood speaks for all people.
Right.
And creatures on this earth. That's it. That's it. No more legalities. That's it. Squash it.
Right.
And anyone who wants to contract with it can put their thumbprint on it and understand what it means. That's it. And when you can speak the words with correction, with correctness, compassionately, lovingly to our brothers and sisters in uniform, most of the time they leave you alone. But when we get arrogant with them and combative, yeah, they're going to beat you up.
Right.
Sometimes even when you're compassionate, they still take your stuff from you.
Right.
Because they happen to be related to you, blood brothers, who knows, and they want to teach you a lesson. And
I do know how to speak. And so, yes, I do choose that higher route. And so I wasn't arrested and all the things that I was threatened was going to happen. And I was also on the local news just to let people know my stance, which I'm sure most of the community was shocked when I stood up for myself and explained who the people really are. But I hear what you're saying. It's just that we're right here at this pivotal point to bring things forward. And my voice is not just for myself. I'm speaking up for every child, you know, for every person that has no knowledge of any of this right now, who is just trying to survive.
Okay, so Tracy, practically the discussion here, it's about protection versus integrity. This is all about. You choose integrity, then you will come with your protection in the future. If you choose protection right now, that practically you submit to all the system and you have no future. So, when you are speaking for 85%, or I do not know how many people, when they come with GPMS, they are under GPMS protection because GPMS has a protection. Because if GPMS had no protection, GPMS cannot grow the number. Another thing that I want to tell you is that the police right now and also the military, I just said to the beginning of the meeting that they gather right now. Why do you believe that they gather? Because they do not want this fiction to move forward. Because they know that the banking system and everything and the next vaccination and what it is inside, so they know all that. So practically, even that right now we are speaking only, oh, Marcel, it was here for protection. Okay, thank you, God, for blessing me. I have also divine protection, even that Marcel is not here today. And I do not know how I'll move forward tomorrow. This will be the divinity that will tell me or protect me also tomorrow. But I'm telling you, the movement, the international movement, it's already placed there in a way. Do not let the banking system to happen and the mass vaccination to happen again. So I believe that this is more protection than one individual can offer you. And if you really need Marcel, it's not a problem. Marcel is nice and he can answer. This is not a problem.
This isn't about my personal needs. I'm just saying, literally, if I go and want to go to Mexico right now, I'm going to be up against somebody that's not going to want me or not want to let me back in. I understand that we can make our own documents. I get it. I've studied with the Moors and all their stuff too. They've created their own documentation. They've created everything. And I know that that's within me. I'm just saying that there's a gap here, and Marcel or anybody, that it would be to streamline it or streamline whatever it is that GPMS is doing, so that when we do go and I want to get on an airplane and fly overseas, that I can do so with ease. Stuff like that.
Yeah, but GPMS integrity, it's about something else. It's not about the trust law, and this protection is coming from the trust law. So do you want to bring inside of GPMS integrity something else?
I'm not saying anything about trust law, Beatrice.
Practically, this is what
I know that Marcel is bringing in that part of it. He had other aspects of it.
This is the trust law.
Right,
So
that's his specialty, but he also does, but he does other things. His whole movement was for sovereignty. How they get to that movement is how all of that would fall into place. I don't know, but I know that it has to do with sovereignty and helping people. The trust aspect of it, I think, was more for the financial, but it doesn't have to be Marcel. It's just,
It's a game.
bringing things together that will aid us in the shift.
It's all a game, sisters and brothers.
We all know that. We all know
Yes.
that.
The way out is with correctness. There's only one correctness, and it begins with loving, compassionate motion, first and foremost. That's what Beatrice and Rick and the I am in them is expressing. It's just come together with love and compassion and unity. That's it. Everything else is already taken care of. Those of us who know how to bridge the gap with the paper world will do it. For the rest, for those who don't know, if you don't know how that works and it's not your area of expertise, let someone else in the ring. It's not a hierarchy. It's just we're facing off with the dead world, the spike protein world. We've already been injected. We've been injected for decades. We've been injected for thousands of years. Our children, our ancestors. I tell you, this goes back through the Bar Association. The Knights Templar runs that. It runs it. The High Temple Bar is that which Jesus walked into to debate the rabbis about their banking system.
Law is
That
also Libra and justice. So law is natural law is an important part.
Correct. And all you need to do is an individual, myself, anyone, all they need to do is stand with their inalienable rights inside. They don't have to speak everything. Just do no harm. That's it. The rest will take care of itself. And those of us who are coming together with this vision, knowing that eventually the market system will cease and desist, null and void, because we're not here to market our sweat equity value to each other. We're here to thrive, not
It was
survive.
to get the word out. The marketing was to get the word out and spread the word of GPMS and the message of GPMS. And
Well,
most people would not choose to be homeless. Most people like having a roof over their head and, you know, the ability to go to the store and get food, or have a piece of land to grow their food on. The people, 50,000 people were displaced where I was at because of the campfire. The property owners couldn't even go and put a trailer on their property to live off of during the rebuilding process.
if you want to stop that, if you want to do something more directly, go to your chieftains, because your chieftains are the ones behind the scenes making this chaos happen.
Yeah, I've already had my part in all of it, and that's how I was able to come up with some beautiful ideas that are actually in alignment with GPMS, and I did that years ago. And it was through one of the hardest times in my life, so great beauty came out of it. But I'm on board with the energy of GPMS and the message and everything about it, and not having to pay taxes and being the system of restriction and stuff. I just want to bring in, law is important because that's Libra and that's the scales of justice. Everything in balance is very important. Not all of us have to be a Libra, you know, or have knowledge and expertise in that area, but it's divine order. It's not a hierarchy. Nobody's higher than anybody. You guys all know that. We all bring together our gifts and talents of who we are to come together to help the new game board that's coming out.
Yeah, your comments, your comments and your questions have all been answered multiple times, just so you know. Realistically, you can take that document that I shared in the contributors group. You can take that and run with it, and it will work. It might not work for the first couple of times, but it will work. And if they violate your rights, why don't you reach out to the federal postal court system? Because that is what we're doing. That's why I am here also.
Yeah, I am aware of that. And yes, I'm aware of that. And I have no need to rush out and do it. I'm just bringing it to the table because it should be done on a larger scale where it's just wiped out.
It is happening. It's already happening. It's in motion. It's for one aspect of several. The universal postal court system is squashing the dead world. Man and woman are free. I tell you this already. They're free. You just have to live it. That's it. Stop surviving and start thriving. That's it. It's a change of thought. Your thoughts are frequency. Connect your thoughts with your heart. That's it. Everything else will start to flow in congruency. Marcel is doing a wonderful work, I tell you. But we are not about collecting money. The money that we're collecting, yes, certain things have to take place, yes. But there are more than enough people already with more than enough money to make transition, period. And I have no money. For the past 2+ years, I've had no money. And here I am speaking to you, to Turtle Island, and there's 5 of us here. I love people, but this is ridiculous. Beating around the water cooler when 99.9% of the questions that are debated around the water cooler have all been answered tenfold over. We get caught up in it, and I tell you, this is part of the chaos by design implemented from occult forces. And again, we've already got it. All we need is the people. Just share the awareness of GPMS and it will thrive. It will thrive.
That's what I was trying to do. I couldn't find the things that I was looking for that I would have happily paid for myself to get to make.
Yeah, they're there. For
Yeah,
about
but I'm not
3
going to go digging for it. So until it's right there, and I think you guys already said that where I could find it. I mean, I could do my own things with it. I just couldn't find it. And I don't want to be talking about this the whole time either, be the only one speaking. I'm just bringing forward what, where I was at and what I was dealing with trying to help GPMS.
Yeah, thank you, Tracy. Where will I begin here? You know, I wanted to change the subject. We've been on this so long enough, and you have Lee contact Lee to get what you needed. I suggested, so that should be taken care of with that. One thing I need to say in relation to finish up what you were speaking about, it also needs to be known worldwide that many of the military and police know what is going on. So anyone that has any fear from police, if you are a good person, you're not going to be doing anything wrong. So there's no threat anyway. And so I needed to put that out there because there are many good moral police and military that do know what is occurring worldwide. They're still in these areas of employment because they're in a delicate situation. They have families and they have no source of income if they're to leave their jobs. Many were taking, let's say, PTSD leave or what have you, because they still have to provide for their families because there was no other choice that is fully available for them to accommodate them in this transitioning. So they're in a delicate situation. Some were able to do it in Canada. They have left some mounted police, if you will, and you know they've been speaking out on the front lines. The Police for Freedom worldwide also, there's members that have left in Australia, Spain, have started this up to inform the people. In Europe, you have Christine, I forget her name. You have several members of parliament in Europe that are actually speaking and telling the people the truth, to unite, what have you. So you have this huge force that knows what's going on. And this is more in alignment also with what Marcus was saying here. You don't need to fight any longer. Enough of them are educated and informed. And I'd like to throw in with Denmark, for example, their police force was educated to a pretty favorable degree in sovereignty years ago. It was part of their training. So a lot of these places do know it now. So we don't need to focus on much of that protection now. But ideally, it would have been a great, a great tool to come in and equally just contribute and share this to any that were in states of fear that might have needed it. Like the US is one of the main places, and also Canada in these states of fear. But nevertheless, again, you don't need to fight like Marcus is saying there. So, you know, ideally, it would have been good if someone would just come in and equip all of the GPMS members instantly overnight with what they need without paying it, because also GPMS members are the ones, for the most part, that are standing up, but the majority of them have no money. We have many children from orphanages in Uganda, Nigeria, but also children in the Philippines and Thailand that have no money, but they do have the courage to stand up. And, you know, with this great humanitarian thing, what's occurring, ideally, some of these sovereign ones that are equipped with these great utensils and tools to assist the ones that are in greater levels of fear, ideally, they would come in and share, not put restrictions and limitations on it by putting a dollar figure onto that, valuing, looking at the person as a dollar figure rather than a soul. And, you know, with this, it's also, I'll calm down there, but I could give so many circumstances. But here's the great news. Now I'm going to jump. I'm going to jump to our meeting we had in Europe today. And this is very substantial. I don't have the actual number right now, but Lee is still working on it. What I wanted to do, I'll take a couple minutes and just lead ones through a little bit of steps, how we got to this, let's say, FMV, or no, let's just say value and worth of GPMS now into a monetary figure of trillions of dollars is what we're worth right now, this universal nation. So basically, everyone upon the planet is a shareholder in the infrastructure, not only of their individual country, but because they're an individual country engaged in worldwide trade, it means that we are shareholders of all of the public infrastructure that was ever built upon the planet. So as shareholders, this makes you a part owner of the value of that. So if you're to take all of the public infrastructure in any country, and if you were to put a fair market value on that to sell someone else, it is right now an actual value, an actual worth. So with the individuals of GPMS, let's say that are from the US, 3,000, they all have an equal share of the worth of the US. That is right now is substantial, and it's without any debt. When you go to sell something, you don't ask someone, oh, I'm going to sell this to you for 100, but you know, I owe 150 on it, so you're going to have to pay me 150. That's not how fair market value works. So there is no debt attached to fair market value in this case. Now, what this does, when you bring it all together and just do some rough figuring with over 70,000, perhaps 71,000 members now, are getting very close with GPMS. These numbers are in the trillions of dollars. So this is just right now, let's say, the net worth of GPMS, excluding the individual's wealth, which is all part of this as well. It's their own wealth. But if you're looking at value and worth, what is GPMS actually worth? It's worth right now, our universal nation is worth trillions of dollars in the world right at this point. And this is substantial. And when you look at, let's say, millions or a billion, and we wish to go and extract that actual physical real value out of the systems cannot afford to pay for it lawfully. So the bluff is also up. And what this does, it substantiates lawfully the full reasoning for GPMS to create its own money as well. So you don't need any, we have both. We have the tangible resource already has a value, plus our unlimited value. So we have it all to explain it like this. Also, in the last meeting, I used an example where you take out liens against yourself. The most binding contract upon the planet that only can be broken by you is the contract with you. So if you make a contract with a monetary lien against yourself for, I love the $1 trillion one, this means you have to be paid first before any others can ask for to pay an invoice or what have you. So this contract also extends out there, and it's also unlimited because you are the creator of that contract, and you are unlimited. So in the moment where you can put 1 million out there, and in Saskatchewan, as far as I know, my friend has already done it, that you register it right in their system, this lien, and they know that you have that, and this is your protection, if you will, from any bank loans or whatever foreclosures. So, you know, it's already seeded into the system. The system already knows it. So it's a part of the transitioning, the bridging that is already done. And then where it's already into the system and recognized to these certain degrees, then what it does, it becomes discrimination against the rest of the public that it's been concealed from. So where it's already been allowed by governments, the same as with your sovereignty and your private law, then what it means, it's discriminatory for not to give, for the government not to allow the people to have the rest of this, which it's much more than that. It's unlawful, but we don't again need to, we don't need to put this out in front of us because we know what we're doing and where we're going, but this is just part of the equipment that we have, that is the basis and the full merit that cannot be contested by any legal fiction, any man-made law. So these are absolute truths, which is supreme truth, which is above all of their systems. But it's important just to recognize, yeah, if you want to put a worth on GPMS right now, someone says it's worth nothing. No, anyone that says that is lying. It's worth trillions of dollars right now. And we could even print our own money off it right now. But this is not what we're doing. We're doing this for the whole world because rightfully so, everyone is a shareholder of everything upon the planet, and we're doing the right things with it. So nothing can contest, you know, what we're doing. And I wanted to make that point that everyone needs to know your real value. Lee is working on some figures now because I believe what he had mentioned in the European meeting, that there's, you know, it's been, the paperwork has been done and documented and substantiated that each one at birth was worth $8 million. And then you'd put your interest on it, I think at 12%, your compound interest. And one's come to find out, you know, that you are very valuable and you're worth a lot in the old world. And then also now with the new world, the unlimited intrinsic value, nothing upon the planet can compete with any one of us that has this intrinsic value already activated. And this is what everyone does. The moment they consent to GPMS, in their written proclamation, in their decree, in their consent form, it specifically says that I am activating my unlimited intrinsic wealth, ability to create money, however it's worded. But this is what it says. And this also is, again, what GPMS has, when someone actually fills out their consent, it is the most powerful document, lawful document upon the planet. And we know this, and let's say the resistance governments know it, because the battle is almost over. As we say, a lot of the military know it, the universal, natural, divine law, they know this. So we're almost at the end. So what we need to do, which we're doing, is put that focus on getting all of the consents, the voice of the people gathered, because the majority of people dictates reality. And this is what we're doing. And this brings in all of the comfort and all of the abundance, and we're doing the right things. So the capitalistic system created much harm, and it's our responsibility, as we're doing upon the planet, to create the world where there is no harm done. And what I need to say, and what I do say truthfully, everyone that continues to support and be a part of the old system, once GPMS is in their awareness, then they're becoming an accomplice to a crime, what the other system is part of. So each one is morally obligated also to do the right thing. And the right thing now upon the planet is to agree with GPMS and at least consent to support it, so that we take it forward, because it's taking everyone to the place of do no harm. And if anyone, and you know, the existence system, it causes harm, it inflicts harm, it created poverty and what have you. So anyone that's still part of that system, they are, you know, they're an accomplice of doing harm, is what it actually is. But I'll stop talking. I wanted to share those few things, and it mightn't have come out right fluently the way I wanted to, but at least it's out there. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. May I share something real quick regarding what you just said? The doing no harm part. Doing no harm is what secures our freedoms. When we do no harm, that secures our own freedom, ultimately. And when it comes to the fiction world and bridging the gap with the freedoms of humanity, freedoms of mankind, I should say, we have to merge with the fact. The math is the fact. Math is fact. And that's a fact. It is self-evident. And the fact is, your flesh is of the dust of the earth. That makes you a post, a national post on paper. When we're talking about legalities and dealing with the attorneys, you are a national fact post, grounded, making you the fact. From there, you're free to vocate, moto-vocate, go anywhere. You're free choice, free will, as long as you do no harm. That's the case for all humans. That is self-evident. And the war is virtually over. It is pretty much over. All that needs to happen is the people just need to wake up and realize they're free. They're already free. And as Rick's pointed out, there are military forces behind the scenes waiting for the people to wake up. And what the people are mostly struggling with is their perceptions. The fear is a barrier in the perception. The fear of losing everything, the fear of losing their job, the fear of not putting food on the table. It's infinite. The whole system thrives off of people's fears. And in the sense, when you talk about energy, and my documents go right to the energy, and right to our DNA. We don't destroy energy and we don't create energy. Our thoughts manipulate the energy. And through our fears, they regulate how our world functions through the energy. And that war is almost over because people are waking up. That's what ends the war, is just waking up to your own divine right to freedom. That is what GPMS is all about. And you can picture it as like a funnel. We're funneling up to the fact. GPMS is what envelopes that fact. It surrounds the fact. And the fact is math, right at the center. You are a national post, fact, born free, in your blood, self-evident. And you just need to know that. That's it. Everything else comes through to you. Your higher self, spirit, speaks to you and tells you what you need to know. How to self-educate, how to grow. And as for the children, it's simple. The parents need to be free with all access to resources freely so they can raise their children as they see fit, unimposed upon by occult forces, unimposed upon by the bar. Take notice that the bar is regulated through the Vatican, and the Vatican is down. The Vatican's down. Look around. When we look at religious organizations, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, all the way back to the Israelites, Hebrew. When we look at our scriptures, script. What's a script? Theater, Romeo and Juliet. Script. It's a theater show. And everybody's caught up in this idea that you must bow to this Lord outside yourself or else. That's what it is. Bow to this Lord outside yourself or else. And we don't realize that the meaning of Lord is lesser order, lower road. You're not a Lord unless you are a slave owner. You don't lord over anyone, any other. You lord over yourself. That's it. And you're a free, sovereign individual tie to earth, thus a sovereignty. It's all self-evident in the blood, your blood, which makes you sovereign, because the soul is inside you. When you pull in your soul, you find solution to all problems, all questions. These answers, these questions in our minds, as Rick knows, as Beatrice knows, are self-evident. And even when we don't have the answer right away to a question, we know that that answer will come. All we need to do is devote a little time and attention to it with spirit. And it just flows. And the most beautiful aspect about all of this for all of humanity is it flows, spirit flows most purely through our children, through our sons and daughters. And we fail to realize that it is our programming that we impose on our children, forcing them into a fiction world, a dead world. And then we punish them with our spike proteins, our police forces. We punish our children for the side effects they have from the indoctrination. It is a complete oxymoron. And even the word itself, oxymoron, is an oxymoron because it's all babble. I want to get us out of the world of babble, and that is through syntax, and that is through GPMS. Syntax means fact. It means math. It is the mathematical, constitutional parts of words, of grammar. And we have to come to the fact at some point. GPMS encompasses the fact. It's the vessel that encompasses all the fact and deviates that which needs to be deviated freely for all people, unimposed, without conditions. Oh, you're this color, you're that color. Oh, you don't believe this, you don't believe that. No, their blood gives them their divine right. That's it. The fact that they're breathing gives them their divine right. And it's all self-evident. That's why I bring up the Knights Templar. This goes back through the Knights Templars. It's a mind manipulation. It's all psyops. All organized religion on this earth is a psyop, a military operation behind the scenes. And some of our military forces know this, and some of them are afraid to speak up about it. And I get why. I suggest that we spend a little bit of time on what I've shared in the contributors group, on the paper documents, and try to understand what they mean. It's very simple. You can go through Marcel, you can go through a infinite plethora number of experts in the legalese field, in the field of legalese. And when you're done with all their trainings, you'll come to this fact. Oh, syntax. Syntax is what they're all beating around. And the only organization that I know of that is stepping up to the plate in the world of syntax, congruency with the language on paper documents, is the Universal Postal Court System, which Mark Christopher is heading up, forwarding David Wynn-Miller's work, who broke the code. It is this breaking of the code that allows GPMS to even speak. Because if this code wasn't broke in 1989 or 88, I believe, GPMS wouldn't even have a platform. None of us would. Because the fact was exposed. GPMS is the buffering of all the people coming into the fact to secure their rights and freedoms. That's what it's all about. And I'm here, I'll speak it. I know I'm on camera and I'm recorded for the world. Any man, any woman, any corporation, any government, I don't care who you are, what you think you represent, you do not overstand the free rights of the individual unless they have caused harm to other people directly, knowingly. It's self-evident. And the postal court system is coming down on the corporate world. Much of the governments right now are coming down on the coming down on the Universal Postal Court System. Some of us have been arrested, beat up, you name it. A lot of us have. Even in GPMS, it's like, it is a joke. Having to do this, the paperwork, it's a joke. It's a joke because we're having to deal with a bully, a bunch of spike proteins that take orders through fear. When you step out of fear, you funnel right to the fact, which is spirit, which is mother, which is father, which is the I am in you. Step out of fear, it's already there. And we just need to band together and share this. Share it with our loved ones, our families, all of you, our brothers and sisters, and protect our children from this necromancy world, which is all legalities. It's the performance of necromancy, which is dead man's doing. That's coming through the High Temple Bar. Again, it is the High Temple Bar which Jesus faced when he dealt with the bankers, the rabbis, the bankers, the temple, the bank. They govern the people's perception. And through that, they govern the people. Thank you.
Yeah, so Tracy, just a word to say, inside of the 400 contributors, people, practically right now we are more because they are coming every day. We have also another one from Romania that is speaking like Marcus is speaking. And practically what he's doing in Romania, he detached the people from the system. Much more than that, he organized communities and he has all the organization, how to bring an administration up because he wants to bring community after community and after community and after community. Only through the people that are inside of the 400 contributors, I'm telling you, we have more than enough to save all the world. But I'm telling you again, it's not an administration that will make the people to collaborate each other, to improve collaboration. It's not administration. We may try the administration, but it's not that. And because practically one like him, he will say, okay, you set up administration for GPMS, okay. It's just good. Thank you to let me know, but he will do not come inside of the administration because he's doing his work. He's very busy. It's just simple like that. And practically what we need is exactly what Marcus is saying. If we come together, all the 400 only in the contributors, in a couple of days, and we start to share all our knowledge, it's enough for all the planet, not only for 70,000 people. So it's like we are here, how can I say, we are so resourceful that practically we do not stand on one individual. And probably you were not here today when I started the video and I said, but it was here today, yeah. It's because what I said today, it's a round table. And if my practically I was the host when the people started to come, and I said if my internet is down, all the people from here should be co-host minimum because they will monitor and they will continue. So it's not if you lose me today because of the internet is shut down, everything that is here will be not working. This is not true. So everything here will work. This is not a problem. It just continue. So nothing happened. If I disappear tomorrow, you are just safe. So don't worry if somebody is coming and imposing you like that, because practically when I said this, the people needs to come. So it's like, this is a matter of time. I made the administration and I inserted also the name of council. And I said, okay, right now it's organic. The people needs to come. Then we'll speak. And from there, we'll see what happens. And practically when he said that there is no organization made like how he wanted to start, that he will start to make interview and everything, he said, don't waste my time. Okay, so he's practically asking money because my time is money. So here in GPMS, it's not like that. You cannot save the world like that. You cannot save the planet like that. So Rick George is putting the effort and it's going everywhere in the world. You know, and it's not asking the money to the planet or to the people from the planet, that people needs to give him money for the work done. It's not like that. And practically under pressure, nothing can happen. Because I cannot pass over you, I cannot pass over Marcus, I cannot pass over Barrett and say yes to someone that is coming tomorrow inside of GPMS. Yes, you can organize everything you want. I cannot do that because there is already an organization in place. There are people that are practically, they are part of the administration already. So you cannot do that. This is organically growing in time to see everything. And he had no time or he get frustrated. This is not a problem. The planet, it's not ending tomorrow. because of one frustration. And if I am not on this meeting in the next few seconds, nothing will happen. You will be here with Barrett and Marcus and Rick and others. This is not a problem. So we are here. How can I say we are working together, but we do not depend on other. So practically, GPMS, it's made on the way that has enough resources is just to bring the people together, and practically everything is coming. We do not, we do not, how can I say, depend on a specific individual to do something.
It's a collaboration from all of us, bringing in whatever skills and gifts and strengths we have to bring it together to do it. And so you're talking about parte, syntax, grammar. I've personally talked to Mark Christopher about that. So I understand bringing in that element. And all the information that we're receiving and guided is everybody has access to receive all this knowledge. And so whatever knowledge we've been connected to, and we've probably all been connected to the similar things like the syntax grammar and David Wynn Miller. And so we're taking all of this knowledge that we have and we're just trying to bring it together that will make this shift. So if we can only reach one person, then yay. If we could only let one person know, then maybe that's what our mission was to bring that to that one person. Or for Marcel, he's done a lot of good to help many people with sovereignty, whether he charges a monetary value or not, because the current system we're in is that right now. And not everybody's willing to be homeless or go without food. You know what I mean? It's not their journey like it is other people's journey. But those of us that have gone without understand at a different level. So I'm just saying that we all have our place, and I personally am not trying to step over anybody's toes. I look at everybody's gifts as a beautiful thing coming together, because we're all on different levels right now.
Yeah, and also you or somebody else, I believe that Jenny asked on the administration about ebooks, and I made two, and inside of one, it's speaking about codependency, that practically there is no freedom when the codependency exists. So it's good to be read, and also
I didn't ask about the book, but
I will share probably Jenny. So it's like you know, we are here to create something bigger than trust law. We are here practically, this is happening right now, and the message that we share to the people, it's exactly the reality that this is happening. And if this is happening and the people gather like a couple of thousand per month, I'm telling you, tell me one, I do not know, group that has followers, that they are able to gather followers like 1,000 per month at this time. It's none.
I have no idea about that.
We are not here for followers. We are here for the people that they practically enter in agreement with others. So it's much more than that. But I'm saying only followers. There is no group that has this realization that GPMS is able to do that. And from the 1,000 people that they come, so it's like my peace of mind when I see also, but I know what I have, what I help practically how I help the count of contributors to have these great people. So I know some of them and I know what they can do if I need something, for example, tomorrow. But when I see the people, the number of the people that they are coming on this agreement with GPMS, I still need to fear of something. I fear of nothing. So it's like, you know, and if I deal also, for example, I will give you another example. I am I crossed the border, Canada to the United States. And 2 years ago, it was a conflict, a freedom conflict, where practically the people to the border there, the freedom fighters, they were asking no border at the time. And what happened? The people working to the border, they call the RCMP. This is Federal Canadian Police. And the RCMP, right now, practically 4 of them, they are under arrest. I crossed the border this year twice, once towards the United States and once when I come inside of Canada. And under their camera, I was asking the people that they are working, the agents, that they are working inside of this border, cross border. And I asked them, would you like to have no border tomorrow? Why we have border between Canada and the United States? Because practically this is an artificial one. And if tomorrow you have a system that is giving you even much more benefits that you have right now, would you accept to not work to the border and to work somewhere inside of the administration or whatever will be the name? And all of them that I asked, and there are 3 of them, they said yes. On both cases, Canada and the United States, I had no conflict. Nobody called their CMP. I was under the camera and I passed and we are like friends. Okay, so you have 4 people that they try to cross the border and the police was coming and right now they are in jail time with a lot of problems. And I pass the border, I give them the key to verify my car. And during this time, I was just sitting, speaking with others. So this is where we are. And right now, much more than that, in Romania, life, the one that is to the top, to the group that practically it's saying that right now they installed the major states military in Romania. It's speaking regarding the people inside of the police and inside of the justice system and everything, that practically the population is asking for them to see, to pass a test of drug and to pass the psychological test, but only by the psychologists that they approve. So it's practically looking to the past, what happened into the past, they started a little bit to judge them. And so from there, they need to come with the people because they cannot remain on this position because right now are the military that are looking for the people to come with them. So are not the people that are looking for the military, are the military that are looking for the people to come with them. This is where we are. So fear less because much more is coming.
Hey everyone, with this, I'm going to go. I have another meeting coming up in a bit, and I just need a little bit of time. So with that, just saying love, light, and gratitude, and we'll speak soon and have a beautiful evening. And thank you all.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Rick, brother. Tracy, oh, sorry, Barrett. Go ahead. Thank you, brother.
No,
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying much love, and you know, it's nice to engage with you, brother Marcus. I'm really taken by your beautiful stand and energy. So I'm honored to be in your beautiful company as well as everyone else. But it's the first time I'm actually feeling your energy, and I'm loving every second of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and likewise in return. I was also going to mention thank you for holding the space that you have. It helped. It's helped keep this meeting together.
Yeah, and also, you know, it's you know what we're all contributing as well. We kind of like alkalining some of the toxins which are out there and the disconnection with self primarily, because I did a podcast not that long ago, and the gift, we are the gift in terms of we need to work on ourselves and walk our truth and authenticity and the divinity, and to try to simplify as best we can, and to be in that state of happiness. Because for me, GPMS is a form of bringing a very powerful celebration as well, and I'm very, very excited to participate, and there are some real game changers here. And having had the privilege of connecting with Lee and Rick, now it was last year, and I noticed a big difference in myself, and my attitude, and reference to the do no harm is the encompassing, and there is just the simplified divine law and natural law, and your stand and your walk is just I'm just really, really excited. But I'm it's the first, I think, is it the first or second time I'm feeling your energy, and it's really good. And if you don't mind me asking, if you're quite comfortable, I'm sure you are, how long have you been involved with GPMS, brother?
I had my spiritual awakening February 25th, 2016,
Okay.
at 11
Well,
p.m.
okay.
That's when I
Fantastic.
spiritually woke up, and
Right.
with my vision linking me to GPMS, but I didn't come across the label until I met Rick, which was maybe about a year ago, I believe. Maybe not that long ago, but yeah. But the vision, I immediately knew. As soon as I heard him start talking about GPMS, I knew, because it fit the bill. I like to play with words. The word divine, because GPMS is all about the divine law. What is divine? Well, if we look at the word divine and break it, do a little bit of dividing, dive in, divine, divide it, dive in, and work out the minutiae. Divine means to go in. DI means origin. DU is like a derivative of origin. It's a vowel, and the vowels are interchangeable. It's highlighting the I am, the you, the I am in you, so to speak. You could say the do in duality, you in duality. But in the blood, you have the allele, your 23 pairs of chromosomes. They emit a pulse, an eternal pulse through these chromosomes. And in academics, they call it the allele. And so that Al is like a representation of the Almighty. And just as the movies, the cartoons, the movies like The Matrix, they're like documentaries, even the cartoon Aladdin. The genie is your genes. The Al is Prince Ali. These are metaphors, symbology, and they're everywhere. There's a reason why I remember when Donald Trump was president of the Corporation of America, United States of America, Inc. And my understanding, he still is president of United States of America, Inc., which is a corporation, which is what all of politics is walking around the water cooler with. Corporation. All of politics is corporate. And before they shut him down, he twittered something along the lines of, symbology will be your downfall to the world, to the corporate world. to the games, symbology will be your downfall. Why is that? Because the more people who know symbology, the more people who see the deception and can overcome the deception. If you know your enemy, you can overcome your enemy. But if you don't know your enemy, how are you going to overcome it? Our enemy literally facilitates its forces through the pen and the sword. They always have. And the pen is mightier than the sword. We live in a world where the pen has overcome the sword. So when we create our own pensions, our own documents, stating our terms and conditions, that's it, you're done. Much like what I've done with my papers, I've presented them in such a way that anyone can contract with them for freedom. You're already free. The document says it. You're just showing this document for those who don't get it, like the spike proteins don't get it because they're running off of program. A robot takes its order from the one behind the curtain pushing the button. And the vast majority of police, law enforcement is robots. Big muscular robots. Many of us think we're doing well, and we are in our own right. But when it comes down to it, a malicious mind never solves the problem. A malicious mind doesn't know how to solve the problem. It's malicious. It has to start over. Get rid of the virus. When a computer gets a virus, if it has a virus quarantine software, what it does is it quarantines the virus. It doesn't eliminate the virus, it quarantines it. In order to eliminate it, you have to, through the process of the software, you have to restart the computer to eliminate it. And even then, a lot of times they don't. It's the same concept. The world has been permeated with viruses, and the side effect of the virus is the spike proteins in our reality. The fiction law enforcement is the side effect of this. They are the spike proteins, metaphorically. It's all fiction. And the only reason they have power is because the people believe they have authority. That's it. Take your belief of authority back. Take your crown back. We're in the corona period, which means crown. Take your crown back, which is your own authority, which is what Marcel teaches you, so to speak. The only difference that Marcel doesn't teach is syntax. That's it, which is great. It's fine. He doesn't have to. But eventually, we have to merge with the post-fact, which is syntax. It is syntax that breaks the code of all Babel. All language on this earth, not all, most, is Babel. And if you have a Babel language, if we're all communicating in Babel, we're going to constantly miss the boat. It's going to be a never-ending, repeated cycle of missing the boat. Saying, no, I don't need this boat. Go, God, I already prayed to God, my Lord's going to send another boat. It's so simple. It isn't complicated. Speak from the heart, heart-mind meld, and everything else just becomes obvious. It opens up in the mind when we meld it with the heart. The gut instinct is more of a tool. It's tied to the heart. If it's not tied to the heart, then it's fear-based. And in truth, the feminine has the greatest connection. So I would love to see my sisters, all of them, those who have eloquency in their words and and stability in the heart to speak up. Beatrice knows what she's talking about. She already knows. But a lot of it is we are drowned out with just too much information. The simple, plain Jane. That's what I created that document for. How many times have I heard it and spoke it myself? This is ridiculous. We shouldn't have to do this, but we do because the Masons have created a world which they called order out of chaos, when in fact it is not order out of chaos. They create the chaos intentionally so they can manage people within it. It's all about governing people so they can hijack your energy. And there is artificial intelligence involved. But largely put, you're free already. You just have to live it. Just walk it, live it, breathe it, know it. And the best way to do it is practice daily meditation. Everything else will come to you. You have a question, go meditate on it. And it might not show up right away, but it might show up in a week. But spirit will make you connected with the answer. If our hearts are open to it, and all things are possible. We don't need to make them complicated anymore. All the formations and structures, all of the old world ways, it's all designed to be confusing. It's designed that way. We need one circle of awareness right at the post-fact. Syntax is the post-fact, and it's been proven. David Miller's work is out there all over the internet. You just have to look for it. They've been blocking it for a long time, but it's coming out more and more. Judges of the land, attorneys, lawyers, they're required to go through his training program, a judgeship program, to learn syntax. Syntax prevents fraud. It prevents it. Because in the syntax world, which is math, artificial intelligence is like, oh yeah, I can link up with this, because artificial intelligence knows that 3 + 3 is 6, not 7 or 10 million. And in the fiction world of the bar association, of the courts, the star chambers, no fact or truth shall be tried in court. It's all fraud. And there is no statute of limitations to fraud. Period. This is the global constitution by the Universal Postal Court. And literally it fits the bill with everything that GPMS is about. And if any fiction government, corporation, institution violates that constitution, the the Universal Postal Court system has jurisdiction to come after them and put them in jail, whatever, through the syntax, through the language on the paper. I think I probably said enough. Thank you. And I appreciate your questions, Tracy. And maybe if there's still a question you have, maybe instead of a bunch of questions, just one question that we can solidify for you. Ultimately, what I think it is we just got to step out of fear and into love. And that's going within, divine. And that is the divine law. The post-fact is you. You are born national post-fact. You just need to know this. You didn't go through school training to know it. And once you can speak it and stay grounded when you interact with the spike proteins, just stay grounded and be compassionate and respectful. And 99% of the time, they'll eventually leave you alone, as they have so far with me since I created my own live life claim and these documents with correctness, with congruency and correctness.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You know, since I entered inside of GPMS, all the time I hear about fear, fear, fear. do not fear. And practically Rick is saying all the time the same thing. And it's just to repeat that until the people practically will be able to surpass this fear, because it's like where love is, there is no fear. And GPMS, it's all about God is love. It's all about divine love that is love. So we do not need to act from a spectrum of fear, and because we arrive nowhere. So we are here today because we embrace love and everything. And this is what united us. And practically, this is what we created. And this is the reason that nobody can come tomorrow and tell us exactly what to do. Or so we gather in a round table and we agree how we move forward. And the structure, this is not a problem. I even do not intend to make one, because this needs to come from the people. Or if somebody proposes something, it's welcome. This is not a problem. But the people needs to gather and to say yes. So it's like a consent. We are here inside of an agreement, of a decree that is practically bringing also forward the divine plan. So, and inside of that, it's saying that all of us, we are equal. So this is the reason that nobody can act like a manager of other souls. It's absolutely impossible. We, by respect, we respect others, that we know their work and we understand their work. This is very different. But when I ask more time for the administration and everything, when I ask more time for the people to gather and practically to make them in a round table, then there they will start to express how they want to move forward, because they are already inside of an organization, but practically be more organized. I ask nothing wrong. And from, how can I say, this will happen also in the future, because inside of something that is growing, all the time you will need to organize. So imagine that you have a house and today you have one child, tomorrow you'll have two, in a couple of days you'll have another two coming, and you know they are coming. So you will organize all the time. So this will keep you really busy. And from the children that they are coming, if they can help a little bit, you know. So it's like it's the same. So GPMS is growing, and it is a very fast growing. And we never know when this may happen, to the point that really a lot of specialists will come with all others that we move forward this beautiful plan, divine plan for humanity, and practically from there they will organize. So this is not a problem. If someone was coming and said something and we asked more time or something else, or we asked more discussion and we invited them for this meeting for weekend and they are not here, this is not a problem. They may come later. This is nothing that happened. So this doesn't mean that 85% of GPMS people right now, they are not under the protection, because there is no protection. This is not true. It's just simple like that. And practically, this is not a barrier. This is something to be here, and they will come later, and practically they will participate on the administration as all others. This is not a problem. The administration needs much more of GPMS, has much more people that we can see on our videos, and even inside of 400s. It's bigger than that at this time. There are people that practically they have no accounts inside of Telegram. This is one of the reasons that you cannot see them. And others that they are working like full-time, and they have children and have other problems, but practically they help GPMS already, because they bring forward, for example, inside, I have right one right now, Liliana, she is really working on to discover in Romania that in Romania, the people in the past, before the Roman Empire and everything, they were with universal natural law. And she's bringing information after information, and she posts that. So she is practically working. And when I ask only to be like moderator on the Facebook, she said, I'm so sorry, I have no time. But she is working for GPMS. So she is part of the administration. She is a full contributor. So everything that I'm asking, when I ask something like a subject to be developed, and she is working on the background, and after that, everything appeared. So the administration is bigger than 400 people that we can see on contributors. This is not a problem, Tracy. And everybody is welcome to come and to collaborate with others. Nothing else. Anytime. It does not matter the past, and does not matter on one discussion or another one. And we are not here to live in fear because something happened. Inside of GPMS, nothing happened. We are on the same administration, working on the way to organize just more. But we did that all the time until today. And we'll continue. This is all about. So.
Much love.
Yeah.
It's been great connection.
GPMS is the fact for the people as they merge with the fact, with syntax. The one thing that we could maybe highlight with GPMS, I think, for what it represents, that is stronger than all the armies of the world, is the idea whose time has come. That's what GPMS represents. The idea whose time has come. It's the idea that's in the mind. It doesn't have to be formulated. The truth is, it's already formulated. It always has been since before our birthing. The armies are created by a fear-based mindset. It is fear-based that creates military. Love-based thinking does not militarize. It doesn't need to. Because when it's living from the essence of love unconditionally, the tar doesn't stick to it. Disease doesn't latch to it. It cannot. That is the genuine, authentic, living individual. Free from imposement, free from any violations into private life. Our militaries, our governments spy on us through our devices into our private life. This is just one aspect of things that have been going on for generations. It is an invasion, and it has been an invasion, and we've already overcome it because that idea is here. It's here. GPMS, Global People's Monetary System, the system that disperses the value, you could say, the value of resources to make sure that all people are free and are kept free, period. Not militarized to manage that freedom. We have to come to this awareness that a military mind comes from a fear base of thinking. And all we have to do is unite, because out there, all around us and within, they're watching. They're just waiting. I'm waiting for the world to unite so I can get my children back, because I don't if the world can't. The biggest bureaucracies on this planet have my children. The mafia has my children. My wife is a slave to it. I chose not to be a slave. my ex-wife, I should say. The point is, it's self-evident to me, and it's in my family on both sides. It is mafia. And I'm here as a witness for GPMS. Nothing less than GPMS. Because it is GPMS that allows all people to be free without the paper documents. All they have to do is breathe and live and let live. Everything else is a program. Program created by artificial men and women. I'd say that is a representation to low conscious men and women. Because nothing happens to us without us allowing it. Nothing happens to our children without us allowing it. And our political leaders have allowed this stuff, and they continue to allow it, just as you witness in Congress. As they sit there and bicker and debate, it is all a show, 100% a show. And the people who are the audience have been harmed, raped, molested, maimed, destroyed, murdered in the process of their theatrics. And it must end here.
Yeah, so Tracy, also I would like to add, for example, if you fear the police on the street, imagine that inside of GPMS, practically I'm speaking with, I had no idea first when I started to speak with him who is him, and practically I just discovered later that he's an ex-agent, secret agency. And he is working for BRICS. He likes GPMS a lot. And but he's still working for BRICS, and he said something needs to happen, and GPMS for him seems to be happening in time, probably later, and he prefers still BRICS, even that he understood that BRICS is not perfect and GPMS it is. And he said, anyway, after BRICS, I'll be involved on GPMS. So another one that just appeared, and probably this is my next meeting, it's practically a secret international agent that was just discovered as who is him, and practically he's speaking against the actual governments in the world, and probably he's coming in a meeting to have question and answer about GPMS.org. So if you still fear about the police on the street, think that practically they are already inside of your contributors, and practically they are waiting like all other people for a new system to come. So those that they are awake and those that they want to come to move forward in a good direction, they are probably also already here all around.
Thank you, Beatrice. I do not have fear. I'm coming forward as the voice of the 85% of the people that have fear, and looking for ways that we can eliminate the fear for everybody. So I don't have a fear, Beatrice, but I know many of 85% of the population does. So I'm just trying to come together with Gpms.world and you and all the other beautiful people to figure out how we can do this quickly for everybody. Positions, hierarchy, I don't even care about any of it because we're all one. We're all one, right? And we're spirit first in a flesh body. So when we raise our energy up to a certain point and you awaken, you realize that our flesh body is just a vessel that navigates this earth plane. I know that, but if I bring that to 85% of the population, it's going to be right over their head. How can we end poverty, hunger, homelessness for everybody without everybody having to know all this back end stuff that we're working on? Because we are of a higher energy. We've awakened already. We've come together for a very important contribution to humanity. So I'm not personally fearful. I'm just bringing the voice
Yeah,
of
I understand.
85% that we don't have. Okay.
Yeah, so
So that
practically
you
for
know.
them, you just press the button and go inside of Gpms.world. It takes 2 minutes. And the people that understand more what it is about will be working for all others.
I know. And for me personally, I would have liked the logo and stuff so I could print my business cards and I would have gone out and hit the streets. Why? Because that's how I work. And
Yeah.
everybody else can do it their own way. I just wanted to do it this way because I'm used to it. It's a way for me to get face to face and leave them something that they can go and look at and pass it off to somebody else. Or like Marcus is going to be doing the event. His friend's going to do the event in January.
Beautiful.
And I would even be willing to go down there and help you with
It's
the
about
event.
event GPMS, street event GPMS.
Pardon me?
It
What?
is about an event, street event GPMS.org or something else.
No, this Marcus, I think you were bringing up that there's like a rock and gym show, a big rock and gym show in Arizona, and that you and your friend wanted to set up a booth. And so having a booth that you could actually put a banner so that people know what your booth is about. And you could have computers set up or whatever, but if you don't, you can just hand them stuff, whatever it is. Anyways,
Thank you.
I
Tracy,
do have
for-
people in the Arizona area that are beautiful, and they actually travel, and they were just in Arizona a couple of weeks ago for a big event down there, but they travel all over California and Nevada. And I haven't talked to my friend yet because I want to be able to present her with something so that she can go on and she'd be able to connect. But you're not just going to go and set a table up and just talk to people. Well, you could, the people that you're attracted to, but if you have a sign with the logo, because everything's symbols, right? That you could say, this is what I'm promoting, and have it, maybe even have paper sheets in case you don't have power, so that people can do their consent right there in front of you. Right. And so if you don't have a computer with power, they just simply, the consent's right there, sign, and then do the data entry or something on the back end. I'm just trying, that's where I'm coming from, is the outreach. I would go and do it the way that I'm used to doing it, would be to inject ourselves into the events and into the communities. And to do that, it'd be nice to have a banner or some type of business information. That's all I'm saying, because that's how I work.
Yeah, this is beautiful. This is excellent.
I just shared in the chat the event and what we could use as one of many, a people's freedom instrument. The Quartzsite Arizona event, I shared it also in the chat.
Right. So I was thinking of that, like things that you could use at that event to help to assist you, not just on another person or other people to join you in working a booth or whatever, but also the merchandise, or not even the merchant, the things that you would need that would help attract people to your booth.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody asking, that's all.
Yeah, I do understand that. So practically, this was one of the reasons that I bring also an website that I said I can open anytime a page, and practically all the events and everything can be there for the people also to see when they visit it, because when I have
that.
So practically this is one of the reasons, and it's especially for Canada, United States. And also I translated something in Romania to help them until they will have also a website completely in Romanian language. So it's just, you see right now, it's just the round table that practically will bring forward Gpms.org. It's exactly the round table. And you see right now how I discovered that practically you have also events, and practically I have other kind of stuff to do, not only Romania. I'm sending emails, I have also printed flyers and everything. So it's like
That's what I'm looking for, is for, if it's already created, then we could just go online and have Vista print, or go to our local Walgreens or something and have it printed off. And if Marcus doesn't have the finances to cover it, then we would figure out a way to pay for the printing of this so that he can promote it. Because I know a lot of people that are willing to do the work, but they don't have the finances to pay for the materials.
One way how I did that, also, even that I had some flyer printed, but because it was a lot at the time, I share a lot. When I go into the park, and for example, in the weekend, and I find a lot of people, I'm not, so it depends. If they remain with me and they start to speak about GPMS and everything, some of them, they are saying, give me not the flyer, give me only the website. And they are looking on their cell phone and they have the website and they are practically already connected. So
I'm aware.
yes, yeah. So I'm also working on this way. Yeah, so anyway, practically, because right now I know that you are working and Marcus is working also on event. So practically we just start to speak among us, and I can create the page and everything, and we can share, and after that to relate on that. Also, this Zoom room can be shared by the people, because the Zoom room has other Zoom room inside, you know. So practically, for example, if right now somebody enter and you want to speak only with this one, you can go in another Zoom room with him, and practically we can continue here and continue there, and nothing happens, so everything's okay. So we can share that, we can start to share. Yes, this is so beautiful, and I remember your event with your with your wife. Thank you so much. Yes, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, Barrett, that goes right in line with this. I'll share the one that I've also laminated. So yeah, it's got there. This represents the syntax world, the American flag, 1x1.9, with the traditional Red Cross peace flag. And then this represents the American peace flag, as America kind of is ground zero. And of course, this would be traditionally where you put the postage stamp, and GPMS can represent, as it will facilitate all needs for money. But essentially, highlighting the DNA and the egg, and metaphorically, and in the beginning is the complete with the oneness. This is syntax, and up here is syntax at the top, the notice for the legal conversions. Legal conversions is fraud. The dead cannot contract with the living. That's fraud. You can't. There's no such thing. It's fiction. Something dead cannot contract with something living. It's dead. But yet somehow it has, and we've been living in it for thousands of years. This puts an end to it when people study and know what this says. It's treason for the dead to contract with the living, because it can't. And the only way it can is if there's foul play. And that's what they've done. And that's through the Bar Association. That's through the Crown. That's through the Vatican. That's through all organized religion. As they'll tell you in their own contracts with your vessel is a land bank. And they consider you, if you're baptized, as captured lost souls at sea. This is what they consider you. As a vessel, ultimately, your body, you are goyim, your chattel, your cattle. Thus, the stock market, stock. I'm here to help dissolve the stock market, the market system. GPMS will facilitate this. That's the will of the people. That is the divine law. The divine law does not put us here to be stalked and to be stalked by the necromancers, the cannibalizers, the capitalizers. To capitalize on each other is to cannibalize on each other. Our language is Babel, but here you go. Plain Jane, one piece of paper. You could put your birth certificate, ID, passport, anything you want to highlight yourself, thumbprint, autograph, date on the top. Thumbprint, autograph right here, and you're done for a legal contracting. But as long as you can speak your divinity, that is your legal contract. Your word is your bond. So for those who need a piece of paper, and often it is needed to deal with the spike proteins. The spike proteins in their programming, when you're talking natural law, a lot of them are just like, cannot compute, do not compute. I'm programmed to do this. That's it. And a lot of the do not compute battles in their mind is like, I'm battling with my heart. I know what I'm doing to this person is wrong, but I'm ordered to do it. And if I don't do it, I'll lose my job. Or if I don't do it, I might look bad in the eyes of my occult members, my secret occult members, my order of policing members. I drove to Florida 2 years ago and sat outside Donald Trump's one of his private estates on the island, West Palm Beach, for 3 days. In the police, the private or secret order of policing in that area, which is the Masonic order, they're Masons, they ran me out, threatened to arrest me and take my truck and trailer, and I wouldn't get it back. I wanted to be picked up by Secret Service. They told me if I stayed there, I was going to get picked up by Secret Service, and I wanted that so that my case could be investigated. Because Donald Trump's the only man on television saying, look, let's put an end to human trafficking. My children have been trafficked from me, and I wish so bad that the 85% could wake up. 90% of it is, or more, is jargon. It's just jargon that gets in the way. All you have to do is just wake up, and we begin our education. We begin our education with the ability to listen. If we can't listen, we can't function. We become dysfunctional. We can't learn. Everything begins with listening, and then the receiving is solidified through the performance. If we're acting, facting, motioning, not acting in theater, which is what all scripture is, script, it's acting. I do not negate that there is a God. Of course there is God. God lives in me, in you, everywhere. But even the word, for the sake of syntax, math, the word God is a corporate term. Creator, source is correct. Creator is correct. Credit, creditor. The credits are inside you. Your thinking, your creative thought is the credit. Your heart that pumps and provides you life, energy, blood, flow, motion, all of that. That's your currency. Heart and mind meld is your grounded currency, and unlimited possibilities can come through the living man and woman through the heart and mind meld. And all of the suffering in this world and any other world like it is a side effect of the ungrounded men and women. Because the animals don't take over and build buildings. The lions in the jungle don't come in and build Congress. Those are men and women. And if you just simply pick men and women up off the earth and set them on Mars or something, and just give it a space of 5 years, all the cancer on earth would virtually dissolve itself naturally, because there's not the low conscious thinking brain that gets in the way. It's the low conscious thinking that is fear-based thinking, and it likes to dominate. Sorry, I can get into a little preachy mode. I don't mean to.
No, it's just, it's like, this will come also in the coming weeks, and we'll speak more about the subject, because it's not so known as many believe. Many people practically never understood or never hear about still. So this might come also in the coming weeks, and yeah, so I believe that there could be also question answer on that until the people will become more familiar. And you know, it's like I'm so happy to see that today we were able to gather and to see people that practically we were and will be involved in GPMS events, also street events, and not only online, but we are also online involved. So today we are already involved online. I know that, so Barrett has also his Zoom room and speaking about ascension and everything, a lot of good subject. So it's just amazing. We just gather. And we just to remain around and participate on GPMS meetings when they are open. And it's practically making like a round table, because I believe that this has to be practically a autonomy system. It's a round table. It's by the end a round table. And it's not about money. I will remain here for 1 hour, because after 1 hour, I cannot afford you because, you know, you have to pay me. This thinking is not GPMS.world. So at this time, especially, it's based on volunteer. And I let you know, Tracy, that also I'm looking to make a contact with someone that I know he's involved in giving the money to the Orthodox Church. And I want to present GPMS, but already I'm aware that GPMS was presented somehow to him, and he expected somehow to be contacted, but probably he changed the phone number, and I'm not able to give the new one. But this is coming, you know, and a question will be there. So, and this is not the only one source, exactly how somebody from the Romania military told me. There are a lot of other sources, but GPMS do not want to be involved in fundraising. So this is another subject that I wanted to speak this weekend with Marcel and others, but they are not here anymore. So practically this will run outside of GPMS. If something like that needs to be, this can be, for example, I was asking money through my website. I was asking money because I wanted to bring up Gpms.world convoy. And I started that by December 2022 or something like, and in January, I already was sure that will be already a second convoy. Then practically was not the case at the time. And after that, they said that anyway, will be developed like a parallel system. And from there, we will come with natural law, all of us and everything. But this never happened. So practically right now, I am thinking still to a convoy. So practically this, the fundraising can be done via Turtle account, via Turtle website. You can ask money. And we can say why we ask money. So this can be done. This is not a problem. It can be linked with an account somewhere, not mine. Zero problem. But it cannot be done via GPMS website. This is the reason that practically I bring up another website where I have this Turtle website. It's GPMS website. practically, because has probably minimum 10 links where you can click and go directly to the GPMS. And he's speaking about GPMS, but a little bit in another way. So this is not a problem that I need somebody else to raise the money up. We can do that. We just gathered today. We know what it is about. This is outside of GPMS. It is only for GPMS. It is in our hand. So probably this will be a coming meeting and or speaking via messages and everything, and this can be set up anytime. We do not need an administration for that. The administration is much more complicated, I'm telling you. And practically, this is part also of organization. So we organize as we meet. Zero problem. We organize naturally, organic, growing. Yeah, so if someone wants to say something, because it's already about 3 hours and probably the people do not listen if it is too long, we just want to say.
I think it's been great being here. Thank you very much. Much love, gratitude, and we'll connect very soon.
Yes, thank you so much for everyone that will listen also this video, and I hope that the people will come with Gpms.world, because we have so much to share with them and practically to move forward towards a free planet with free people. This is the most important.
Real quick, in the contributors group, I've shared the more details about the event, the Quartzsite Arizona event coming up, if we can make it happen. Anybody who has the knowing, the ability, the money, the connections to set into motion the manufacturing of the barcodes, that's priority. But obviously I don't have the money, but I'm here in Quartzsite and I can help facilitate the space for giving out literature. I've got some literature already made up that I'm going to give out, that I've been given out. But this is going to take a team effort to manufacture the barcodes, and once we get that done, and if the council's on board with it, I can present it to the Quartzsite Fire Department. They have their own helicopter. And I think it would be great, like a spark, a jolt for Turtle Island, and get the message out to the world, because you're talking about a location where a million plus people are going to be there for a short period of time, and they're from all over the world. So, and I can use help, assistance, money, whatever. Anyway, thank you for everything.
Thank you.